This is a health warning from Dr. Approved Medical, America's trusted resource for back braces. If you're 65 or older and suffering from back pain, you may qualify to receive an advanced pain-relieving back brace at little or no cost to you. Many people are now using our pain-relieving back brace as an alternative to surgery or harmful medications and experience pain relief that they haven't felt in years. Don't let your back pain turn into something worse. Remember, if you qualify for no money out of pocket, there's nothing to lose and only real pain relief to gain. Our friendly team of experts will handle all paperwork and will deliver it for free. 800-507-1148. Your pain-relieving back brace may be covered by Medicare at little or no cost to you. Call our hotline now and get free shipping, plus a complimentary, easy-to-use pedometer. 800-507-1148. 800-507-1148. 800-507-1148. Little to no cost with full insurance payment, copay, and deductible supply promo subject to qualification while supplies last.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the West Coast, it's time for Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
Hey, yo.
For over 30 years, and still, your inside look into boxing and mixed martial arts.
You know what? As long as she fights at 135 pounds, I don't care if she's injecting a horse demon into her eyeballs.
Heard live around the world and brought to you by the World Boxing Organization. And now, live from the Ring Talk Studios in San Francisco, here's the host of the longest-running fight show in history, Pedro Fernandez.
Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the multi-million-dollar Sports Byline Studios in San Francisco, California. Check it. The man was correct in that lofty introduction as my name is Pedro Fernandez, often imitated but never duplicated, 35-plus years now as your host of Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Straight up today, I've got some great guests. The Godfather, retired HBO Godfather, will be in the house. That's right. Larry Merchant will join us at about 17 to 20 minutes past the hour. Straight up, first, we'll hear from Johnny Sig. Of course, a big weekend in boxing. Larry Merchant following that. And guess what? At 40 minutes past the hour, I will bring you an exclusive interview with Teresa Tapia, the wife of Johnny Tapia, the ghost of Johnny Tapia. The book is out. It's on the bookshelves. Can't you not? You got to check out this book. It tells it just like it is about the story and the life of Mi Vida Loca. I'm talking about Johnny Tapia right here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. So all those guests will be here. We've got open phone lines. You want to join us? You can. Your option. 1-800-878-7529. That's 1-800-878-7529. Of course, there's also the guilt-free, no-commitment text line. You want to text the studio, you want to text my guest, you want to rap me, you want to compliment me, you want to ask my guest a question, you can without getting involved and coming on the air. The studio text line, the number, 415-275-1613. That's 415-275-1613. This is hour number 1 of 2 of Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Of course, 2 hours live on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, the American Forces Network. Can I keep going? I ain't got enough time. Bottom line is, you're tuned to the longest-running fight show in history, Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Next up, Johnny Sig from Las Vegas talking boxing on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network.
Ask yourself, if you built a van for your business, where would you start? At the beginning, of course, with the people who invented the work van over 100 years ago, Mercedes-Benz. You'd give your new Mercedes-Benz Sprinter advanced technology and safety to keep you connected and protected. You'd make it available in diesel and gas, and there would be thousands of configurations and upfits to choose from. Because your one-of-a-kind business deserves nothing less than a van that's built for you. Introducing the all-new Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, the safest, most innovative Sprinter yet, starting at just $33,790. Built for you, the all-new Sprinter. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
MSRP excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. See dealer for details about costs and terms. Equipment described as optional.
Remember in the beginning,
When you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. That's 800-957-6063.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. They want your money, and guess what? They can legally take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you. So what do? Fight back by letting our team of experts at the Tax Helpline work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws and will fight to save your money. So if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket.
800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. That's 800-932-1749.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Woo, it's going to be good. Boxing in Monterrey, Mexico last night. God, the last time I was there, Emmanuel Stewart and I were rocking and rolling. Julio Cesar Chavez had girlfriends on 2 different floors. That's right. Not even his wife. His girlfriend was on like the 2nd floor, and his other girlfriend was on like the 5th floor. And it wasn't his wife. It was his 2 girlfriends. And one night, Julio Cesar went to spend time with one lady, and the other night he would spend time with another lady. I don't know how he put together that awesome record, but he did it getting laid. Bottom line is you are tuned to Ring Talk Live worldwide on the line from Las Vegas, Nevada, of course, our very own Johnny Signorella. And Johnny, I got to ask you, of course, this decision last night, they called it a majority nod. The scores went 116, 112, 115, 113, I believe, and 114, 114. Some people found those scores hard to believe. How did the Sig man see it?
I had it 7-5 for Dennis and not so Hulk Hogan. Hogan, who actually, I tell you what, Pete, he called on the Hulkster last night in Dennis, man. He brought it to Jaime Munguia, close fight. I'd be good 7-5 either which way or dead even at a draw. But to score it 8 rounds to 4 like one judge had it in favor of Jaime Munguia, I don't know about that, man.
Well, I mean, let's talk about the effective punches, the clean punches. Although the guy couldn't punch much, he landed the far more effective and cleaner punches. In fact, he was backing Munguia up a couple of times. Munguia's supposed to be a monster.
That's what's up, and I noticed that too, and I said to myself going into this fight, on paper, it looked like Hogan couldn't crack an egg with his 7 knockouts going into the fight. But I actually saw Jaime Munguia get rocked a couple times and pushed back, like you were saying, and, Dennis just taking over the geography of the ring, and in some rounds really dominating Jaime Munguia and making Munguia look just, almost pedestrian, just kind of like basic and nothing too great to look at. And made me think last night, if a guy in Dennis Hogan, who, by the way, came there with a lot of spirit, it's not all about punch and power, it's about your skills and your spirit and what you bring to the dance, came with a lot of passion. I said to myself, Jaime Munguia wants to campaign at 160. He's now fighting on his own. We got Canelo there, Danny Jacobs there, Triple G there, Demetrius Andrade there. Yikes, man! Imagine those guys putting their hands on him like that.
You know what? I think you're putting the ball too far down the road. I think that in good faith, I'm going to read to you what Mr. Hogan said here. Quote, "We came here in good faith, and no disrespect to the people who scored it, but the decision shouldn't go through. This is bad for boxing, bad for me, and a rematch is accepted right away. No questions asked. You saw the game plan. It was keep moving and land more shots. Every time I knew I was doing that. His power didn't faze me at all because I'm moving, rolling with the punches, doing what I was doing. He's a great fighter, but I could see in his eyes he knew he was losing. And that's why Robert Alcazar was whispering in his ear after the 4th round, his trainer, okay? Oscar De La Hoya looked like he got caught drag queening again. He was so negative before they announced the decision. And then once they realized they got the points, you see Oscar sort of light up there. But they knew, I think deep down inside, they knew they lost.
There was a lot of panic in that camp corner, friends, associates. And you could even see in Jaime Munguia's face. I think that's why Jaime came out in the 12th round, really trying to go for it, because he knew, the fight was on the line. And as you could see, like, 2 judges had it right. Like I said, one had it a draw, the other one saw it 7-5. But it was way too close for comfort for Jaime Munguia last night. And they were talking about the 160 plunge and going to these big top guys at middleweight on the zone. I don't foresee that happening in the next fight. Hey, man, give Dennis Hogan a shot back, man. Run this fight back, because that kid deserves it. And I tell you what, it's very rare in the sport of boxing. We see people show up and do what they say they're going to do. Dennis Hogan spoke a big game coming into this thing. I saw a lot of pre-fight, footage, and I tell you what, he did everything he said he was going to do with what he's capable of doing. And I think that's very impressive.
The kid comes from Australia. I'm going to tell you another Australian boxing story, and it was sad to an extent. Jeff Fenech fought Azuma Nelson on what I think was on the Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns 2 undercard in 1989. And Jeff Fenech beat the snot out of Azuma Nelson. Just beat the snot out of him. I mean, it wasn't even close, okay? And they called it a draw. And Jeff Fenech was never the same. He got knocked out in a couple of fights. He got into drugs afterwards. In other words, that opportunity to win that night where he did win. In other words, it's sort of like playing blackjack in your hometown casino there or your neighborhood casino there in Las Vegas, Johnny. In other words, you got a queen and an ace, which means you got a blackjack 21, and then some guy beat you with a 10 and a 6. You hear what I'm saying? It isn't right. And poor Dennis Hogan, I looked at him last night. I thought he won the fight. Most of the people I know of thought he won the fight. And it's just sad that we got to talk about this controversy now. Now, this guy's from Australia. I think that Munguia, he said, I'll even go to Australia and fight him. He said that on one of the websites. Well, guess what? Pack your bags, pal. Pack your bags.
Let's see him go over there. I like to see Jaime Munguia honor that rematch, because Dennis Hogan last night certainly deserved it with one hell of an effort, man.
Okay. What do we got to talk about in hour number 2?
There was a lot more boxing last night. Carissa Shields became the undisputed female champion at middleweight, taking out Christina Hammer.
And she won by vicious 4-punch combination knockout, right?
No. It was unanimous decision. But I got to say, Carissa did a good job last night. More about that later. We could also talk about Lomachenko on Friday night, lighting up Anthony Corolla in 4 rounds, and also a UFC card last night with an amazing main event and one hell of a co-feature I cannot wait to talk about.
You are tuned in to the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Johnny Signorelli rejoins us in hour number 2. Of course, this is hour number 1 of 2, the Sunday edition of Ring Talk Live Worldwide on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, Channel 211, the Dan Patrick Channel. Dan, can I tell them about the stuff we used to do up there? No, we just drank beer and had a good time. That's all, up there in the stands. Of course, the sun was coming down on us, 100 degrees, watching fights outdoors at Caesar's Palace. Tyson, De La Hoya, good fights back then, man, and that outdoor atmosphere was unparalleled. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Next up, the retired HBO Godfather, Mr. Hall of Fame himself, Larry Merchant, in the house on Sports Byline.
What does it take to win your love from me?
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com. That's MYEVOZ.com to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
What the hell's going on out here?
We're talking Byline Sports, where sports happen.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Check it, 22 and a half minutes past hour. Time to bring in the retired HBO Godfather, Mr. Larry Merchant. A very good morning to you, sir.
And back at you, Pedro.
Vasil Lomachenko, extremely impressive on Friday night, as well he should have been, of course, against a marginal foe. But the bottom line was he looked great, and I think that's the way you're supposed to take care of marginal foes. You're supposed to go out there and take them out. What do you think about him in his future? What's next for him?
Well, there's nobody out there who we can see who can seriously compete with him at lightweight, except for Mikey Garcia. That's a fight everyone wants to see. Will it eventually happen? We'll see what happens after Garcia comes back from his defeat at Spence, at what weight he can be comfortable and successful. The optimist in me says eventually it'll have to be made, despite the problems in networks and promoters, because it'll be too big and everybody will be able to make money. But the pessimist in me says, I want to see this fight. I don't want to wait. And looks like I'm going to have to wait.
Why? But, you know, Garcia, they always say in the world of boxing, you get paid for your last fight. Now, Buster Douglas got sort of dogged against Holyfield in October of 1990, but we I say the boxing business or the promoters paid him $24 million to fight Holyfield based on the fact he had just knocked out Mike Tyson in February of that year. Okay, so he got paid for his last fight. How do you pay Mikey Garcia for his last fight?
We don't know what his last fight will be.
No, what I meant was his last fight with Earl Spence. That's what I'm trying to say. What I mean by the last fight was...
Look, all we know is he took a risk, and for which I salute him. It was a risk that very few people thought he would turn out successfully for him. But at the same time, he made a bundle of money, a lot more than he had ever made before, in the millions, and that's part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he can now still fight Lomachenko after coming back. So I don't know if it was a loss on the record. So what? The greatest fighters have lost.
Okay, so but I think as far as
including Lomachenko, by the way.
True. So when they match these guys up, though, if they were to match them up right now, I think that Lomachenko will be in the driver's seat regarding the money. Don't you?
No.
No.
I think Garcia has proven that he could put
butts in seats.
Exactly, 47,000 in Dallas. Supposedly over 350 million pay-per-viewers. Lomachenko hasn't come anywhere near that level.
True. And based on their...
Lomachenko will be the B-side there, just as Spence was, incidentally. Even though Spence's title was on the line and Garcia's wasn't, Garcia was the driving force of the fight, and he got the biggest piece of the pie.
Okay, so is Lomachenko going to go the way of Golovkin? Will he always be the B-side of the record?
In a big event like this, probably, but it depends on who the opponents that materialize and how he does in that fight.
Interesting. Larry Merchant's our guest, who goes to Retired Godfather, kicking it in Santa Monica, California, where it's just a lovely day because it's beautiful up here in Northern California, so weather down there is fabulous, huh?
It's getting to be more spring-like, put it that way.
We there are people, and you lived in Philadelphia, and I've traveled enough around the world and around the country to know that 3 months a year is a pain in the you-know-what, and we don't have those 3 months.
Well, we're lucky, okay?
Straight up. Talking geography, of course, with the retired HBO Godfather, Larry Merchant. Is Jarrell Miller considered much of a challenge for Anthony Joshua come their clash on DAZN, do you think?
I don't think he's much of a challenge, but he's unbeaten. Old saying, an unbeaten fighter is hard to beat. Joshua appears to be much too much for him. And we'll see if he does his business.
Wow. Larry Merchant's our guest. Larry, we were talking about the history of boxing, and you and I were going back and forth over the phone earlier about an iconic figure in the world of sport. I'm talking about Joe DiMaggio, and you said you had dinner with him, and I told you it was one of the few times in my life where Pedro just choked up, and I just couldn't. I mean, I was standing next to him. It was just me and him in the sports book of the Bay Meadows Racetrack, the sports club, the elite end of the arena. It was just me and him on a Wednesday afternoon. I'll never forget it. And I was there for like 20 minutes, and he was receptive and everything, and I just didn't bite. I thought he was putting bait on the hook. I just didn't bite it. And you explained it to me that is sort of common in people dealing with people of that stature. What was the flaw there?
Well, we all freeze in the moment in the presence of real greatness and sometime, and he was bigger than big and bigger than bigger as a pop cultural phenomenon. And he was my hero when I was a child. The two Joes, Joe Louis and Joe DiMaggio. DiMaggio was the great player of his era, who led the great Yankees to one championship after another, etc. And he was a heroic figure, and I did get to meet him a number of times after he retired, and he once asked me to have lunch with him, actually. And I understand. What do you ask a guy who's been asked every question and who is sitting right there in front of you? And there's an old saying in journalism: you ask the big people about the little stuff and the little people about the big stuff. So we once got into a conversation about his restaurant in San Francisco and how he was a taster for every new dish on the menu and so on. And I used to do the same thing with Ali, talk about the little stuff.
That's dope. I was talking about Joe DiMaggio. You know, of course, Joe DiMaggio married Marilyn Monroe. Okay, somebody shot me a text here. Larry, did Joe ever try to sell you any coffee, that Mr. Coffee thing he was doing?
Well, he was famous at the time for a lot of people didn't know him. They knew he had been a great baseball player, but he was more famous in his the later stages of his life with many people for being Mr. Coffee on television.
Of course, talking about Joe DiMaggio. You mentioned the other Joe. I'm talking about Joe Louis, of course. Got to see him a little bit before his passing in Las Vegas. Caesar's Palace took care of him. Do you know, I was talking with somebody the other day, and with Steve Lott we were talking, and of course Steve Lott used to be part of Mike Tyson's team. He's trying to put together a Hall of Fame, a boxing Hall of Fame in Las Vegas, and it's not happening. He just can't do it. He said that none of the casinos in this era, the corporate casinos, want to do that anymore. You know, maybe 25, 30 years ago, Caesar's Palace would have eaten that up, wouldn't they? A Hall of Fame?
I don't know. Caesar's Palace became a presence on the sporting scene. They'd had big tennis matches there and big fights there. I don't know that
Evel Knievel.
I don't know space-wise that whether they'd rather fill that space with more slot machines than pictures of great old athletes.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to now. Larry, tell me about Evel Knievel. Did you ever meet him?
I may have been around one time when in some kind of press thing, but I remember the event that Bob Arum promoted, and the Evel Knievel almost becoming
awful Knievel,
and the ex Knievel in that fantasy jump. But I didn't know him.
That was, you know what? It was like he did it here at the Cow Palace, and he crashed, and like it was crazy. I mean, it just wasn't. And not as bad as a crash there in Las Vegas, but you got to be in. I mean, people talk about fighters having a death wish or being willing to put it on the line. He was nuts.
Well, look, there are people who climb up without ropes, climb up mountains and race against some kind of clock, which looks which looks crazy to me, but I guess it isn't crazy to them. And Evel Knievel, I guess, had the kind of life that somehow he wanted.
You can't do. I don't think you can do enough drugs to get out of the pain that guy in when his body was bouncing all over the place. From that to Terrence Crawford and Amir Khan. Is this Amir Khan, Amirkhan, or Amir Khan, Amer space CON? Which one is it?
You mean is he a real con or a real con artist or both?
That's basically the question.
Well, he's a bigger name right now than he is a fighter. I'll put it that way. He's fighting off a former reputation when he was an exciting young British fighter who had won a medal as a teenager at the Olympics and had some electric skills. But they pulled the socket on him when he got hit on the chin a few times. And so I just think it's a name. I just think that in Britain he might still be a royalty as a name and even as a boxer, but it looks like a short afternoon's work for Crawford.
You know, anytime a fighter from Pakistan or Saudi Arabia or Yemen or anything like that, of course, I'm talking about Prince Nassim Ahmed, who got zillions of dollars from those countries, but he gets fat on that TV. He works out a deal where he gets fat on that TV from like Pakistan and places like that. So Amir Khan is a very, very good businessman. He's made a lot of money in his time, but you're right. When his chin gets checks, it folds.
Look, some guys are able to extend it. They touch the public, fans in some way, and he was part of the British reemergence as a boxing powerhouse over the last 15, 20 years, and he's been able to cash in on it, and good for him in that way, but I wish it was a better matchup.
Larry Merchant, our guest. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Larry, we got to talk about Len Banker and some of those Las Vegas guys that we used to know that have passed on. So Mo Dalitz, guys like that. Can we do that on next week's show?
Sure thing.
Great up. Say hello to the godmother for me, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Cheers.
And my lucky folks, we're lucky, blessed with the presence of the Godfather Larry Merchant. Guess what? Next up, the superhero of Johnny Tapio's life. That's right. His wife, the widow, Teresa Tapia. Next up on Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
Baby, give it up. I turned to lose.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com, that's MYEVOZ.com, to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
I mean, it's enough to make your head explode.
No, we're not talking Ricky Martin. We're talking about Johnny Tapia. That was his theme. He's, of course, La Vida Loca, hit Mi Vida Loca on the line from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I believe, of course, is his widow, Teresa Tapia. And Teresa, happy 2019, my dear.
Happy 2019 to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. Still rocking and rolling. Still running with the big mouth 35 years later. How's Albuquerque?
It's nice. It's actually very nice weather today. It's been bipolar the last few days, but today it's actually a nice day.
Okay. Johnny Tapia, 59-5, of course, 30 KOs. Only, wow. I mean, what can you say? A couple of draws. What an incredible record. A young man that turned pro in the 80s, of course. I got to see a lot of his fights in Albuquerque when he was younger, when he was older, of course, in the Texas fights and things like that. He was quite, how can I put this, a character. How would you describe Johnny Tapia to a boxing fan? The
boxing fan, I would say that, he was probably one of the most colorful fighters you'd ever see. I mean, he brought so much to each and every fight. And, I mean, I've never seen it, again, and I don't know if we ever will, but the way he would clown and, taunt his opponents and talk to the crowd and, it was just a very, very unique style that was him. That was all. He loved fighting, and it showed.
A guy that one of my stablemates fought him, Henry Martinez, who represented, I think, Nicaragua in the Olympics and this and that. So he went to Albuquerque, and he said to me, he says, Peter, you going to come down for this fight? I said, I don't think so. I just knew. I don't think so. I don't think so. I was being kind. And anyway, he goes down there and he gets schooled, and he comes back and he says to me, he goes, you knew, huh? I said, yeah, I knew. He goes, but he was just, he was as green as I was. I said, no. Johnny was a stud as an amateur. Johnny Tapia was the real deal. I mean, so Johnny's surprised a lot of people as a boxer, but when you look at his amateur credentials, they were all there. I mean, it wasn't a big shock that he was such a stud as a pro.
Exactly. And like I said, remember, even when he wasn't into the boxing scene, he was always fighting in some form or another. Today they call it MMA, and he would have been paid for it. Back then it was, he loved to fight on the street. So that was part of who he was. It was just ingrained in him. It just, like I said, he just loved it. He loved everything about fighting.
Was it tough? I guess did you have to bail him out a couple times?
Yes, more times than I can remember.
Okay.
He was, but like I said, that's what made him unique. That's what, Johnny lived life to the fullest, and he never had any regrets about anything, and he would tell people, I'm not going to be confined by, society and what they say. He's like, I want to do what I want to do. And he always knew. He used to always say, I know I'm going to die young, and that's okay, but I'm going to pack in as much living as I can. And he sure did. So he got everything that he always said he wanted to do.
Okay, Teresa Tapia is our guest. The book is called The Ghost of Johnny Tapia. In fact, if you're looking at the Twitch.tv broadcast as I speak right now, the cover is on the screen. Of course, it's written by Paul Zanone with Teresa Tapia. So how did you write this book? I mean, did you just sit down with this guy and spill your guts or what?
Actually, we didn't even sit down. He called me up, Paul Zanin. He's a great writer, as you know. He called me up for a different interview on this issue, and he said that, they loved the story so much that it ended up being like a 5-page spread, and I think it was Boxing Digest or Boxing Monthly, I forget which one. Mm-hmm. And then he called me again and said, look, I was contacted by, these publishers out of Boston, and they're doing this series, and Johnny fits right into it. Would you be interested? And I said, yes, of course. I mean, my thing is just to keep Johnny going and to keep his memories and his legacy alive no matter what. So we jumped on board, and he finished it, in a record time. And, it's a great story. There's some stuff in there. I know Johnny had a first book, but this one tells a lot more. It's a lot more in depth about the boxing side of things.
Was the destructive personality the result of substance abuse or just Johnny?
The substance abuse was a result of the traumatic injuries and traumatic emotional stuff that Johnny went through as a child. So remember, his mom was murdered when he was 8 years old, and Johnny kind of was thrown into the cycle of he didn't know where he belonged and nobody wanted him, and he was passed around from different relatives to different relatives, and finally, the grandparents settled on raising him, but Johnny always felt broken from that point. So he did eventually turn to substance abuse, and what he used to say, cocaine was his mistress, but it numbed him to the point where he felt like he could take another day. He would take days one day at a time, but that's kind of how it was.
Mistress and Johnny Tappy does a mix because I knew him so well, and he would. That was we were places on the road. A couple times you weren't there. He never looked at anybody else like that, Teresa. He was as true, and I almost got tears in my eyes here, but he was as true as they come to you.
He was, and that's why he used to say, people talk about all this stuff, and he would always say it, and he said it in interviews, my only mistress was cocaine. He used to say it was never women, that was never his problem, and that's why I used to try to tell people. They would ask me, how do you put up with it? Well, he was the most loyal guy, and he had the biggest heart, but he had an addiction problem. But then, who was I to judge? Who was anyone to judge? If we went through the life that he went through, well, I probably wouldn't have even survived as long as he did. And that's the God-honest truth.
So let's talk about that graphic time for him as a child. His mother was, the rumor was his mother was murdered in front of him. He witnessed this?
No, she wasn't murdered in front of him. She dropped him off. She was getting ready to go out dancing with her then boyfriend, and he ended up killing her. But what Johnny did witness, because he used to stay at the grandparents, he noticed a truck passing by, and he could, he swears up and down that he saw his mom being held against her will in this truck, and he woke up his grandparents and told them, and they, he got punished for it. They told him that he's just imagining things and go back to bed, stop bugging. Well, strangely enough, if you look at her autopsy and the police report, there was that same color truck involved at the crime scene that people did witness. So obviously he did see something.
Yeah, we had rats when we were a kid and in the house, in the basement. And I told my parents there were raccoons in the basement, and they told me shut up and go to bed, basically, right? And then the rats were running all over the house. Let's see the raccoons. They don't,
Exactly. So you understand. I mean, they just, they don't believe children, and they think, and in Johnny's case, he felt very powerless, and he grew up feeling like he could have saved her, but he couldn't. I mean, he was this 8-year-old kid, but he never got over that. So it spiraled him into this destiny that became, Mi Vida Loca. And that's who he was as a result of what happened to him.
Yeah, the Henry Martinez fight was in 1994. That was at the pit in Albuquerque. That's when I sort of told Henry beforehand. I don't think so. Anyway, after that word, of course, he went on and fought big guys. I'm talking about, before that, Paulie Ayala. I mean, what were the memorable fights in Johnny Tapia's life for you? What comes to? I mean, when you think of his career, boom, what jumps out at you?
The Martinez fight, oddly enough, and that was Johnny's favorite fight as well. It was just so, if you had have been present at that fight, the electricity in the air, the people, everybody, including Johnny, were crying. I mean, it was just the most unreal feeling, and I don't think we ever captured that again. But the other fight that I was most impressed by was Nana Konadu. This guy was knocking people out left and right. I mean, I was really scared for that fight. But Johnny, he was the one that was like, I know I have this. And believe me, I had ultimate faith in him. But as his manager, I did not want him to fight this guy. But as, you have to have faith in him. And he schooled Konadu, and he put on the most beautiful boxing lesson ever. And I think that's what I tell people. If you ever want to watch a true boxing fight, watch that one.
What about the rivalry in 1997 of Albuquerque? That rocked. That was the Thomas and Mack. No, it was some big arena in Vegas. I think it was Thomas and Mack. Anyway, it rocked. Danny Romero and Johnny Tapia. The place was sold out. People were there. There were Romero fans. There were Albuquerque was in the house.
It was. That was a great experience. And again, being there and being present, now, like, it's in the book now, so I can talk about it, but it was so funny leading up to that fight. Again, here I am. I'm watching Danny, and he's training in Angel Fire at like 13,000 altitude. He has all this special team of people. And Johnny, I don't even know where the guy's at. I have no trainer. I can't even get him home. And then when I do find him, he ends up in jail, and you don't even know. He trained about 3.5 weeks for that fight. He ended up, by the time we got him home and settled him down, I had to call up Bruce Trampler, told him what was happening. We had to rush to Las Vegas, Nevada, and Bruce was worried. He was like, oh my gosh, Johnny's getting killed in sparring. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I was like, let's delay the fight. And Johnny was like, I got this. And he did. It was, after the fight, he just, that's what I'm saying. The character, the talent, it's unreal. And he just went in there and he fought like there was no problems leading up to that. And he even said it was the easiest fight of his life and walked away crowned, a 2-time world champion at that point.
Straight up, I remember 4 or 5 years ago that some clown was harassing you, Jeffrey Padilla or something like that. Did you ever get him out of your life?
Yes, and you're going to see another interesting story on that spin of things.
Really?
Yes. There's so much to catch you up on, and we won't be able to do it in this segment, but there's a documentary coming out, and it has to do with DNA and Johnny and this man who says he was Johnny's father, who we actually proved wasn't, but it took Jeffrey in order to get this all done. But very interesting stuff. Like I said, you when you see the depths of stuff that Johnny and I did for each other, then you're going to be like, I get it.
Johnny Tapia, 59-5, 2 draws, 30 KOs, a world champion, many divisions, of course, a stud, a true gladiator in the world of boxing. And you know what, folks? He had some hard times, but he had a good woman along his side. He was very, very lucky and very fortunate. Teresa, I thank you for your time. The book is called The Ghost of Johnny Tapia. I wish you the very best of luck, and we'll talk again real soon. Good luck, Princess.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Wow, Teresa Tapia, what can I say, folks? You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
New York City, in a funky cheap hotel. She took my heart and she took my money. She must have slipped me a sleeping pill.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com, that's MYEVOZ.com, to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Ain't nothing stopping us now, baby. This is hour number 1 of 2 of Ring Talk Live Worldwide today. Of course, hour number 2, we will talk the UFC and boxing as well. Of course, I'll bring you back in time and bring you some vintage Ali. I think I got to bring you a little Ali almost every week. Why? Because I'm not talking about Ali the fighter. I'm talking about Ali the person. Muhammad Ali, if he touched you folks, believe me, he touched me. He made you a better person. He just did. That was what Ali was. I think Johnny Signorella said that on the show. That fact, if you were a carpenter and Muhammad Ali had contact with you, you were a better carpenter. This and that. I think he made me a little bit better human being. And I keep going back to that one line he kept telling me time and time again, is that when I try to, help homeless people and this and that and try to reach out and give them $5. So you give a homeless guy in San Francisco $5, you move on down the street and you see a guy that's even worse off than the guy you just gave the $5 to, and you can't be giving $5 to everybody, you'd be broke, right? So anyway, Ali told me like this, you know what, son, after we went to a hospital one time, and these kids, we saw these crippled kids there, and we left, and we helped them out, gave them some money and for food and things like that. Some nuns were running this nursery for deformed kids in Macau, and I was sort of, little tears in my eyes afterwards, and we're in the bus, and he came back and sat down next to me. He said, "What's wrong with you?" Blah, blah, blah. The kids were depressing and really sad. I have a child at home, blah, blah, blah. And he said to me, "You can't save every puppy in the pound, son." And he was right. You can't save every puppy in the pound. Speaking of hour number 2, is upcoming, of course. As I say, we'll hear from Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway. Of course, they were the main event of UFC 236 last night. And it rocked and it rolled. The main event did. But, I don't know. Not $100. Not $100. You can't get me to pay $100 for this stuff in high def. It's just not worth it. The UFC's got to come up with some type of package. And I don't mean just like a $10 or a $15 discount on your pay-per-views per monthly if you join their Fight Passing or something like that. No. I'm talking about where you go like $10.99 or like the Zone is doing. The Zone's like $19.99, although I was a little ticked off with the fact they doubled their price in less than a year. But, they went to $19.99. Of course, they've got Canelo coming up May the 4th, Canelo and Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs being the best middleweight in the world as far as Americans are concerned. Of course, Canelo, the best middleweight in the world as far as the world's concerned. Of course, the Mexican star, the king of pay-per-view, the king of the Zone, $385 million contract he signed, he and Oscar De La Hoya. Holy cow, $385 million bucks, but he's got to keep winning. Or then Oscar says it's guaranteed. I think Oscar's full of snot on that one, but I got to tell you, he's got to keep winning. But if he keeps winning, I think it's 11 fights, he's going to make $375 million guaranteed. So that is the biggest contract in sports history without a doubt, and it belongs to a Mexican prize fighter. That's a little bit strange, isn't it? I mean, think of all the athletes in the world, all the guys that command the big bucks, yet this kid from Mexico who basically, he lost that one fight to Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, he lost that fight, but let's be honest, he was a baby, and he had cement for feet. Both feet were like both left feet. He couldn't dance for nothing, couldn't move around. His footwork has improved a little bit, but he lost to Mayweather, as was expected. Mayweather said, let me fight this guy young, make the money while he's young, because in a couple of years from now, he's going to be too big, too strong for me. So Floyd, being the opportunist that he was, fought Canelo at that point in time. Now Canelo, the superstar of boxing. Speaking of a superstar of boxing, of course, Larry Merchant mentioned the 2012 Olympic gold medalist Anthony Joshua of the UK, of course, their hero, selling 85,000 tickets out. Whether he fights in Wembley Stadium or in Wales, wherever he fights, 90,000 people will show up for him to fight. Okay? He could fight me and 90,000 people would show up, I guess, and pay for it. But straight up, Joshua and Miller, of course, that's also on the Zone too. So Larry Merchant's getting the Zone. He called me last night. How do I get the Zone? He's getting the Zone. So he's got the Zone. you got to get the Zone. I'm not a big fan of these apps, but ESPN Plus is really delivering the world of mixed martial arts and boxing. So I got to tell you, that one is a great value, ESPN Plus. Straight up, this is hour number 1 of 2 of Ring Talk Live Worldwide. After the news, Ring Talk continues, of course, on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, iHeartRadio, and a plethora of other internet platforms. This is Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Thank you for tuning to hour number 1.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and cut the cable and save with Dish TV. Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. That's 800-405-2561.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the West Coast, it's time for Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
Fascinating.
For over 30 years, and still, your inside look into boxing and mixed martial arts.
What the hell's going on out here?
Heard live around the world and brought to you by the World Boxing Organization.
Yeah.
And now, live from the Ring Talk studios in San Francisco, here's the host of the longest-running fight show in history.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! And Foreman is as poised as can be!
Pedro Fernandez.
Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the multi-million-dollar Sports Byline Studios in the city by the Bay, San Francisco, California. Straight up, my name is Pedro Fernandez, as the man was correct in that lofty introduction, as he always is. Straight up, Ring Talk Live Worldwide, hour number 2 on the Sunday edition. Of course, Sunday we come to you for 2 hours, beginning at 11 a.m. Pacific time for 2 hours. This is hour number 2. We're talking UFC and, of course, bring in some Muhammad Ali as well. That's right, vintage Ali, talking motivation, talking Ali, not the fighter per se, but the person. I try to bring you the person. Muhammad Ali was quite a person, and I've said this time and time again. Nobody has touched me like he has. It's just crazy. We've had other people that were bigger in my life than that, but for the small amount of time, for the days, the weeks that I spent around him, he touched me unlike anybody else. Straight up, we'll talk about Muhammad Ali in depth probably about 40 minutes past the hour. But the UFC rock and roll last night. Of course, it was a WBO 154-pound title fight. We talked about that to an extent. Hulk Hogan, no, his name was Tom Hogan. Call him Hulk Hogan, folks, because He pulled it off last night. He should have had it. And the bottom line is the judges went the other way and didn't give him the decision. One judge called it even. Other judge had it 8-4 in rounds for Jaime Munguia. The other judge had it 7-5 in rounds for Jaime Munguia. I think you'd have been hard pressed really to put a gun to my head and say that Jaime Munguia won 4 rounds of that fight. Straight up, not the greatest decision in the world of boxing, no doubt about that. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide, the mighty Tower of Power, bringing us to break. We do have a listener line. If you want to join us, you can. Real quick, 1-800-878-7529. That's 1-800-878-7529. Or the guilt-free, no-commitment text line. Text the studio right now, 415-275-1613. The text line, once again, 415-275-1613. This time it's real. You're tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
You my all-star shining bright, I know. I can feel it. This time it's real.
Here comes the decision now. Let's listen.
Clarity in the world of professional boxing is spelled WBO. That's right, the World Boxing Organization is boxing's only transparent sanctioned body. You can follow the WBO on Facebook or check out their website, WBOboxing.com. That's WBOboxing.com. The World Boxing Organization.
Has done it! We have a new heavyweight champion of the world!
Ask yourself, if you built a van for your business, where would you start? At the beginning, of course, with the people who invented the work van over 100 years ago, Mercedes-Benz. You'd give your new Mercedes-Benz Sprinter advanced technology and safety to keep you connected and protected. You'd make it available in diesel and gas, and there would be thousands of configurations and upfits to choose from. Because your one-of-a-kind business deserves nothing less than a van that's built for you. Introducing the all-new Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, the safest, most innovative Sprinter yet, starting at just $33,790. Built for you, the all-new Sprinter. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
MSRP excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. See dealer for details about costs and terms. Equipment described as optional.
Taming the briar patch, mowing the lawn, trimming the Yeti. Whatever you call it, it's about time we talk about manscaping. Guys, you manscape, right? You know, keep things trimmed and fresh below the waist. 9 out of 10 women of all ages prefer their guy manscaped. But you gotta have the right tools for the jewels, or you'll look like you used a machete. Pop over to manscaped.com and check out their perfect package. Not that perfect package. The Manscaped Perfect Package 2.0 that was a smash hit on Shark Tank. It features the lawnmower, a precision trimmer engineered for below-the-waist grooming. Its skin-safe technology means no more accidental nicks and burns. Check out the lawnmower and the amazing grooming and hygiene products that come with your perfect package. What's that saying? Trim the shrubs and the tree stands taller? Get 20% off plus free shipping today. Visit manscaped.com and use promo code RING. Again, use promo code RING at manscaped.com. Manscaped.com.
I love iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
Love it.
Everywhere, man. Seriously. Everywhere, man. 20 million songs from 450,000 artists. iHeartRadio.
Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota.
I create my own radio stations.
Millions of songs, thousands of stations, one free app. iHeartRadio is that easy. Download the app today or listen online at iHeartRadio.com.
Now, back to Pedro Fernandez with the MMA Hour.
Wow, the UFC rocked as far as the main event was concerned. In fact, the top two featured bouts last night. I'm talking about the UFC Interim Lightweight Championship. Why there's an interim title? Because Khabib, of course, was suspended. Khabib being the champion, 25-0, undefeated in a lifetime. The guy's beaten up on bears. I kid you not. Look it up on YouTube.com. I doubted it as well, of course. But straight up, the interim lightweight championship was sort of settled last night. A 5-round unanimous nod, of course, for the new champion, Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier, of course, coming in at 25-5. Good record, of course. The loser, not really a loser per se, but he was moving up 10 pounds of weight. The current featherweight champion, Max Holloway, moved up from 145 to 155. And I think that the actual move up in weight was it was a disaster because he just couldn't fight at 155. There's a difference. You can be great at one weight and fair at the next weight. That's sort of like me at 139 or junior welterweight and then 147. I was great at 139, but at 147, it wasn't just big enough. Straight up, it was a matter of size. Let's hear from both guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 49-46 for the winner by unanimous decision and new interim UFC lightweight champion of the world, Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
Thank you, man. Nothing to respect. I'm sorry I cursed at you yesterday. Nothing to respect. This is war. This is war. a good person, a good father. I respect you. You're a good guy. I love you, bro. You're the champ. I love you. Thank you, brother.
All right, I'm here with the winner and new champion. Dustin Poirier, congratulations on a truly fantastic performance against one of the very best fighters in the world. You put on a show tonight. You came out strong in that first round, had him staggered. How does this feel? Does this feel real?
Man, this feels amazing. I feel like I'm in a dream right now. I just beat one of the pound-for-pound best in the world. To be the best, you got to beat the best. And then, damn, I feel good, man. It's been a long time, brother. This is my 23rd or 24th fight with Zuffa. I've got knocked down. I've climbed back up. Like I said before, man, this is my belt. I earned this in blood. I paid in full. This is mine.
You earn this, and you earn your position here with your spectacular streak of fights. You've beaten some of the very best fighters in the sport, but tonight, this was a truly special performance, Dustin. This was the culmination of all your hard work, all your time in the gym and in the octagon. Just an amazing performance against absolutely one of the most technical fighters on the planet.
You know, man, there was a time in that third round where I got hit with a couple good shots and I was hurt. And I looked at Max and he started throwing a lot of volume. It hurt me some more. And I felt like the fight was slipping away, man, but I dug down. I said, if I'm going to go out, you got to put me all the way out. And I hit him with some good shots. I had him hurt. The rounds were back and forth. I didn't know what was going on. He hit me with some good shots, man, but I'm the champ, man. This is a piece of the world title. This is what I want. I want to unify this belt with the best. Right now, I'm the champ.
And this sets you up for a fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov for the undisputed title. So give us your thoughts on that.
In the words of our buddy Daniel Cormier, get your together, young man. We got a belt to fight for.
Dustin, congratulations on a truly special fight. It was an honor to call this fight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. I'm a big fan of yours. I just love fighting in this organization. These guys are the best, man. I've overcome adversity so many times. Everybody out there, there's people telling you can't do it, or you're the underdog, or you're championed against, or telling you told you're not good enough. I've been told that my whole life, and I'm the world champ. If I can do it, you can do it. I just want to dedicate this fight to my wife. We've been together, been married 10 years. And if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be here. There was days I went home, busted and broken, and she believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. This is her belt as much as it is mine. I wouldn't be here without her. I love you, Jolie.
The winner and new champion, ladies and gentlemen, Dustin Poirier. I'm here with Max Holloway, ladies and gentlemen. Max, you're ever a warrior, and you showed that again tonight. Give us your thoughts on this fight.
Hey, I'm not going to take nothing away from Dustin. He beat a world champ. He is a world champ. There ain't no interim. He the real thing. He beat a world champion, and congrats, brother.
Moving up to 155 pounds, what was different for you?
You know, nothing. Nothing was different. I felt good. I felt on. I thought it was my night. I learned different tonight, but it is what it is, you know. You win, you learn. And I learned a lot. You know, Dustin gave me a lot. I guess the cupcake tastes sour again.
We know you will be back. We know you'll be back better than ever. But do you feel that your future lies in lightweight, or do you think you're going to go back down to featherweight where you still hold the title?
I'm still a champ. Whatever weight gets me closer to that pound-for-pound title, if it's here. I told you guys, if it's 170, 185, 205, my best friend DC over here in the front, if he wants it, he can get it. I don't care.
You're a great man, Max Holloway, and it's always an honor calling your fight.
Max better go back to 145. Having moved up in weight, and I keep saying this time and time again, and my guy Johnny Cigarello knows what I'm talking about. Moving up in weight is like, it's like paying more taxes. You just don't want to do it because eventually you're going to lose. I mean, size matters, yes, in pornography and, of course, combat sports. Speaking of Johnny Sig, let's bring him in. Johnny, hell of a fight last night, though. These guys, they went back and forth. I mean, Max Holloway had his moments.
I tell you what, man, a great way to have a sequel, because they fought once before a couple of years back, and Poirier won that one. And I tell you what, Holloway and Poirier, man, I can watch those guys run it back again and again so long as they stay safe. But, man, they let their hands go last night. And I tell you what, though, Max Holloway, even though the weight might have been an issue, he held his ground really good. You know, he threw his hands nicely. He looked kind of comfortable at the weight with punch resistance. I think that's the most important thing. But I tell you what, both guys rocked each other, and that was one hell of a main event.
He couldn't throw Poirier around. You hear what I'm saying? He couldn't throw him around. At 145, he can ragdoll guys. At 155, he can't ragdoll guys. That's the difference. That's that little bit of difference. Anyway, let's talk about the co-feature. Undefeated Israel Adesanya stayed that way, 17-0. Now Kelvin Gastelum losing a unanimous nod across the board, 48-46. What'd you think? That was a barn burner as well.
What an excellent fight. I tell you what, the main event was fire, and I tell you what, the co-feature Adesanya and Gastelum right there, bro, that was one hell of a fight. Back and forth shootout, both guys down multiple times in the fight. I can't believe it went to the scorecard. We had a 48-46 across the board in favor of Adesanya. But I tell you what, man, both guys gave 100%. And again, as long as these guys can recover from that, I'd like to see them run it back, because that was a premiere of what UFC fights should look like. There was takedowns. There was ground fighting. There was exchanges with the hands. There were kicks being thrown. People were getting rocked but getting up and being capable. Like, they would shake off the buzz and turn it around. So, I mean, when you see a fight like that and you see both guys, you know, being safe and doing their thing, and at the end of the fight, you know, giving nothing but praise to each other, that's what it's all about.
They did, without a doubt, both guys. In fact, both the main event and the co-feature, both all the participants showed a whole lot of class afterwards. There was a chicks fight on the card. She fought way down on the card. Women's strawweight bout. Poliana Barreo, I think she was supposed to get a title shot, defeated Lauren Miller with a 29-28 score across the board. Did the women deliver last night in MMA?
Yeah, not so much from what I saw. I saw highlights of that one. It didn't look like what we're used to seeing, like when we saw the Karate Hottie like a week ago or so, you know, when you're seeing some good stuff, you know, being thrown out there. But that one, I didn't really catch the full thing. I saw highlights of the piece.
Okay, good enough. We'll talk about the world of boxing a little bit. Of course, women's boxing coming back in a mainstream main event on Showtime. Of course, Clarissa Shields beating Ms. Hammer in a battle of the elite as far as 160 pounds in the world of women's boxing is concerned. Looking at the upcoming UFC schedule, I take that back. Let's take an early break. You are tuned to the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. We're talking MMA and boxing for us. Open phone lines. You can join us if you'd like. I dare you. Why do I say that? Because about 25 years ago, Colin Seymour did a article on me in the San Jose Mercury News where the callers said they were afraid to call in because I might flush them down the toilet. So we had an old toilet system back in the day. We used to flush callers. Yeah, if you said something stupid, you got flushed. So I didn't mean to scare you off. We're not flushing people anymore. Toll free, 1-800-878-7529. That's 1-800-878-7529. Or that guilt-free, no commitment text line. Call Johnny Say Bad Names if you want. 415-275-1613. I'm just kidding. 415-275-1613. You are tuned to the Sports Byline Broadcast Network.
You're listening to the MMA Hour.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com. That's MYEVOZ.com to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
Now, more of the MMA Hour with Pedro Fernandez.
You talk about guys long in the tooth. How about Alistair Overeem and Alexei Olenek? Of course, they're going to do battle in St. Petersburg, Russia. The UFC going to Russia. I don't know. I think this might be the very first time. But like Olenek is 57-11, and Overeem, or I call him Overroyd, of course, the guy that got caught when they said to him, hey, man, we want you to take a steroid test. And he said, he got in his car and drove around Las Vegas in the heat for an hour and a half. I guess he thought he'd sweat it out, but he didn't sweat it out. He came back, took the test, and failed, was suspended a year. But he is 44-17. These guys doing battle. ESPN Plus is taking you, bringing you this card from St. Petersburg, Russia. After that, it's UFC on ESPN. That's going to be on April 27th. May 4th, UFC Fight Night. LaQuenta and the Cowboy Cerrone. UFC 237 is going to roll. That's going to be from Rio de Janeiro. That is a pay-per-view event. But outside of that, it's 1, 2, 3 straight events on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Why do you need to watch the pay-per-view when you can sort of watch the pay-per-view with a wink-wink somewhere else and not have to pay that kind of money, Johnny Signorelli? Do you feel where I'm coming on that?
I feel where you're coming from. And, with ESPN Plus right now, what they're trying to do is intelligent. Right now, that they're the only outfit in which you could get a UFC pay-per-view if you want to buy it, right? And if you're a subscriber to ESPN Plus, what happens is you get a whopping, ready for this, Pedro? $20 off the pay-per-view. Oh, my goodness. So I can understand why people are trying to pirate these things, although I don't do it myself, of course.
Would you be willing to take a polygraph exam on that?
Sure, anytime, Pedro. Whenever you're ready. My voice doesn't get high or anything.
Folks, did you hear that pause? Did you hear the pause before he answered there? There was a smile. You didn't hear it, but in the radio world, it was like a year of pause right there. Yeah, right. Johnny Six and who the hell was I told you I had Steve Albert. Steve Albert was with USA Cable, him and Sean O'Grady, and we was bouncing back and forth between HBO, Showtime, and 2 pay-per-views all on the same night, right? So I said to him, "Hey, Steve, you got one of them black boxes?" And he was like, yeah, he had one of those. Here was a cable guy with a black box, and there was another cable executive, and I won't mention his name, although he did have the initials LD, a cable executive, now is known in the promotional business, but he had a black box too. And he used to work for HBO, so figure it out. Anyway, bottom line is, UFC is rocking and rolling all over ESPN.
Yeah, they certainly are, man. I tell you what, they're delivering for the most part. And even though last night was a pay-per-view, and the asking price if you're not a subscriber to Plus is, I think, about $70 to $80. If you're a Plus subscriber, you're getting $20 off. Was it worth the value? I tell you what, the co-feature main event, I was thoroughly entertained with those. So, I mean, I wouldn't complain too much, but if they start fleecing the fans like they have in the past, start running 2 a month and just putting, like, randoms out there and just trying to take advantage of the fans, then that's where it's bad. But at the end of the day, I think that they should just do a network similar to WWE. You know, they're their own brand, their own franchise. Why not? I guess because the Disney money is so big that they're trying to, make sure that Disney gets their investment back and they're locked in for a long period of time. So I guess that negates that. But I just wish we had something where you buy in and it's like $20 a month and you get all the UFC content out there that you want. But at the end of the day, I can't complain too much.
2008 Olympic gold medalist, talking about Henry Cejudo, of course, the current world flyweight champion who had beaten the world bantamweight champion, who was disqualified from combat for 2 years because he injected EPO into his system. And EPO is something that Shane Mosley admitted to under oath. And this was given to him by Victor Conti of Balco. Remember the Balco Lab scandal with Barry Bonds, that kind of stuff back in the day, folks, as far as Major League Baseball was concerned? Well, guess what? Victor Conti gave this stuff to Shane Mosley for the second Oscar De La Hoya fight. I believe that was 154 pounds. And what EPO does, it makes you recover faster. In other words, it makes you have more red blood cells. You got more red blood cells. You got more oxygen in your system. Bottom line is you recover faster. And that sort of reminds me of the Filipino Phenom. That's what I was leading into here, Johnny. The Filipino Phenom, he used to recover in 10 seconds, too. I'm talking about Manny Pacquiao. He doesn't recover in 10 seconds anymore.
No, he doesn't. I mean, people will say age, but let's face facts. If you look at him back in the day when he was facing Oscar De La Hoya, right, when he did in Eric Morales, out of 2 out of 3 fights that he fought with Eric, and Marco Antonio Barrera, like the way he would recover in between rounds and be able to just sustain, and in between rounds just come back out after dishing out a beating on someone and then be able to administer that same beating on someone consistently throughout the entire course of a fight was just breathtaking. But you do have to stop and say, man, where's this guy getting this energy from? Again, he's never been caught, but I definitely have my suspicions about Manny Pacquiao, because you noticed that when the shade was thrown on him about the steroid usage, what would happen was that everything slowed down.
No. The knockouts came to an end.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't knocking out guys anymore. People would say the level of opposition stepped up and he was moving up in weight. At the end of the day, I found it very suspect that he wasn't finishing guys the way he used to finish them off.
Miguel Cotto told me he'd never been hit that hard in his life. He couldn't figure it out. I said, would you think he was on steroids? I don't know. He didn't want to say. Anyway, back to Henry Cejudo. I brought him up a little earlier. The 2008 Olympic gold medalist, of course, as a freestyle wrestler. Didn't take all the punishment that these MMA guys and boxers have taken, in that he really didn't get into combat sports, meaning combat, other than wrestling, until after 2008. Anyway, twice beaten world bantamweight champion, moving up to 135 pounds, taking on Marlon Morris. Henry says he can fight at 125 or 135, but it looks like the UFC's dissing him and getting rid of the 125-pound division. Why? Not enough talent? Or does Dana hate that division that Demetrius... Wait, when Demetrius Johnson had it, he was Mighty Mouse. He was the greatest fighter in the history of the world. Then Henry gets it and they want to get rid of it? What's up?
Well, I know Mighty Mouse now is fighting at 1, I believe, right?
Yeah.
He moved over to there, so I mean that takes out a good fight between him and Henry Cejudo. Marlon Morales, good fighter, but I also believe Marlon is a little bit heavier, but they're going to, I don't know, are they fighting at 125?
135.
Okay, yeah, so Cejudo's moving up because eventually I think Dana White wants to just negate that 125 division, feeling maybe that the lower guys can't entertain and knock people out, but I've seen some hellacious fights down at 125 in the UFC, man, where guys are just stretching each other out and just destroying each other, beating the brakes off each other. We saw Cejudo in his last fight, what happened there. So I think at the end of the day, I think Dana White wants to get rid of that division.
Injecting EPO into your body, this is not like your trainer slipping you some bad Mexican meat, okay? It's not.
Not the tainted beef?
The tainted beef, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, but, Canelo Alvarez, folks. Of course, he claimed that, I think, once but twice. Anyway, Cejudo, TJ Dillashaw, he was knocked out and he cheated. He's been cheating for years. Cody Garbrandt, who was a former champion who lost to Dillashaw, he said that he reported Dillashaw to the USADA 5 years ago for injecting EPO and that they did nothing. And now the USADA is saying, well, we don't have those old P tests anymore because we didn't have enough money to store them, so therefore we can't go back in time. You know, maybe we should think about banning TJ Dillashaw for life.
I would think so. It seems like he's been dirty, you know, without a doubt, and what just happened recently, you know, and for him, it's like, you know, I'll flip it here and say that, you know, he's cheating, but he's not even winning. Like, how pathetic is that? If you know, and my best as a boxer, not to make this about me for a moment, you give me some steroids, bro, I'm going to do some damage. You know?
Yeah, but he got quick. He got caught first, and of course on that chin. And steroids don't help. Steroids don't help your chin. Anyway, Valentina Shevchenko, the women's flyweight champion, of course, taking on Jessica Eye. How come a women's flyweight can go and men can't?
Well, Dana wants to sell the women, especially in particular if they look good, right? But I mean, let's face facts. Women deliver in the UFC big time. So you got to also understand that women, just by nature, are just smaller physically. So I think it's going to have more leeway there because of that.
Wait. Are you trying to tell me that you think that women in MMA can crack because of the fact they're using smaller gloves than the women in boxing?
Oh, well, 100% there, yeah. And women's boxing should do that. If we had that last night with Shields and Hammer, I think that Shields would have definitely got a knockout.
Okay, but time out. Let's go back to the physical matchup of a woman versus a man. A man is much bigger than a woman, so shouldn't a woman wear a smaller glove just to begin with? Isn't that natural, right?
Absolutely, I agree. Yep.
And they're wearing 8s and 10s. I guess those women last night wore 8 or 10 ounce gloves, and they went 10 rounds. Straight up props to Clarissa Shields for winning that bout. The WBA, the WBO. I like all kinds of different titles. Anyway, props to her. Anyway, on this Henry Cejudo card, Valentina Shevchenko, Jessica Eye. Not the only women on the card. Lots of chicks here. Tatiana Suarez, women's strawweight bout, taking on Nina Ansaroff. Women's strawweight bout, Carolina Kay taking on Alexa Grasso. Another women's flyweight bout, Katalin Kuchugin. I think I got that. Taking on Joanne Calderwood. Another women's strawweight bout, Felice Herrig, taking on, Enon Yan. I think she's Asian. Anyway, the bottom line is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women fights on this card. Are they trying to say something here?
Absolutely. Like I said, Dana White is definitely backing up women. You remember at one point in time he said that women will never fight in the UFC. Then we had Ronda Rousey come in. We had girls that weren't too hard on the eyes come in and that could actually fight. And next thing you know, now you got, a huge explosion of mixed martial arts women content.
You're tuned to the MMA Hour live on Sports Byline.
Decision now. Let's listen.
Clarity in the world of professional boxing is spelled WBO. That's right, the World Boxing Organization is boxing's only transparent sanctioned body. You can follow the WBO on Facebook or check out their website, WBOboxing.com. That's WBOboxing.com. The World Boxing Organization.
We have a new heavyweight champion in the world.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
Are you wasting hundreds of dollars each year on contact lenses? Would you like to be able to see clearly again without reading glasses? Make the smart choice with IQ Laser Vision. Their team has performed over 150,000 LASIK and SMILE procedures, and with 11 locations on the West Coast and special out-of-town packages, there is a solution just right for you. See why they have a 5-star rating on Yelp. Check out IQLaserVision.com. That's IQLaserVision.com.
IQ Laser Vision.
Now, more of the MMA Hour with Pedro Fernandez.
Nothing quite like the wisdom of a man that's seen everything. I mean, Muhammad Ali, when I met him, he was like 55 years old. I think he had seen the entire world at that point 4 or 5 times over. Of course, you know, when we talk about Ali on the show, a lot of times we refer to him as the boxer per se, but I refer to him more as the statesman, almost like a president, almost like the Pope. The bottom line is, when you went places with Ali, although I never saw him part water, I saw him part seas of people. I mean, it was just crazy. Anyway, bottom line is Muhammad Ali Unplugged, 1964 to 1970.
I went to the Muslim Mosque in 1960 when I first went to Miami, training for professional fighting. I went to a Muslim meeting. And as soon as I heard it, I knew this is what I've been looking for all of my life.
Why do you insist on being called Muhammad Ali now?
Now, that's the name given to me by my leading teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's my original name. That's a black man name. Cassius Clay was my slave name. I'm no longer a slave.
What does it mean?
Muhammad means worthy of all praises, and Ali means most high.
At the height of the racial unrest of the 60s, Cassius Clay, Baptist, had chosen to become Muhammad Ali Muslim. Establishment America was infuriated, even terrified by it. Why was this sports star rocking the boat? Who did this Cassius Clay think he was? It turned out Muhammad Ali thought he was a free man. He had a mind of his own, and he wasn't afraid to use it.
I like what all Negroes like, and what they're fighting for is freedom. And I understand that the Civil Rights Bill is getting ready to die. All that kind of stuff. And then they so shook up about where I go to eat dinner. You look, it's a shame in the eyes of the intelligent world to even ask me them kind of questions. Where am I going to dinner?
If you quit fighting, would you go full-time in the civil rights work?
No, I don't know if I call it civil rights.
Well, what would you do for an occupation if you stopped fighting?
Well, I don't know what I'll do. God's got me here for something, but I can feel it.
Cassius, do you believe, as Brother X suggested today, that violence will be necessary for the Negro to achieve these rights that you've been talking about?
I don't believe in violence. I only believe in violence unless I'm attacked. All sensible people don't believe in violence unless they're attacked. Then nature calls for violence if somebody jumps you.
Do you have any thoughts of joining the civil rights movement at the point of getting arrested somewhere?
No, sir. That's an embarrassment. I'm supposed to be free. I don't have to be getting locked up.
So we take this to mean that you are repudiating Brother Malcolm or Malcolm X?
Repudiating what? What you mean?
His position, where he's his.
No, don't be writing. Don't be telling no lies. Don't make it look like I'm talking. I ain't talking against nobody. I'm not against nobody. I'm not no leader. I'm a little humble follower.
Cassius, did you really feel like this before the fight when you were talking so loud?
Feel like what?
The sentiments you're expressing here about being rather quiet, did you really feel that way and the rest was just a big act?
Yes. A wise man can act a fool, but a fool cannot act a wise man.
How do you classify yourself now?
I'm a wise man.
I'm finished predicting also. No more predicting, no more poems, no more nothing.
Why the change?
Well, mainly after hearing the teachings of Islam, converting to the Muslim religion, Islamic faith, and been around our leader so much, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, well, just humbleness just come on you. You just don't clown and act crazy no more.
It would be the war in Vietnam that would provide a defining moment for 25-year-old Muhammad Ali. As a Muslim minister and conscientious objector, Ali refused to be drafted, even though he knew it could mean the loss of his heavyweight title, even jail. In the face of enormous controversy, Ali did not flinch.
There haven't been very many Negroes in this country who have protested the draft in the sense that they have gone in and fought. Do you think that you are setting some kind of an example that perhaps some of them may even...
I'm not out to set no example for nobody to follow. I'm a Muslim. I'm with 600 more million who believe the same as me, and I'm just sticking to my religious beliefs in the Holy Quran.
Just how far would you go to keep from taking up arms?
I'll die. It's anything that's against my religious beliefs. I'd rather face machine gun fire before deviate from the teachings of Almighty God and the religion of Islam. I would die.
Well, in this situation, you wouldn't have to die. It would mean that you'd go to jail if you refuse to take up arms.
I'm not saying where I will go. I'm just letting you know that I'm going to stick 1,000% to my religious beliefs, even if it means die. You figure out the rest.
Every time that I enter the ring, in a way, I'm going to war. They say to me daily, you are a prize fighter. What's the difference? And I like to say to those critics of the press and to the others that there is one hell of a lot of difference in fighting in the ring and going to war in Vietnam. My intention is to box to win a clean fight. But in war, the intention is to kill, 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 and continue killing innocent people. And I want the world and the cameras to hear. Who's the heavyweight champion of the world?
On May 8, 1967, Muhammad Ali officially refused to be inducted into the armed services, and he paid the price. He was stripped of his heavyweight title and his license to box.
And I would like to say to those of the press and those of the people who think that I lost so much by not taking the step, I would like to say that I did not lose a thing up until this very moment. I haven't lost one thing. I have gained a lot. Number one, I have gained a peace of mind. As you read the newspapers and the press now, you see that I am now in court. I am in court seeking justice under the laws of the land. In this country, the United States of America, ministers are exempt from the armed services. And if they choose, I am a Muslim minister and a teacher of the religion of Islam. It has been said that I have two alternatives. Either go to jail or go to the army. But I would like to say that there is another alternative. And that alternative is justice. And if justice prevails, I will neither go to the army nor will I go to jail.
Wow, what can I say? Ali on a host of different subjects and this and that. I think that's good to bring you a little Ali wisdom each week, folks. As, you may disagree with him, especially in light of I just think he's relevant in light of today's anti-Muslim sentiment and this and that. Because, the same thing was thought about him, and when he converted to Islam back in 1964, it was like a big shock. And, eventually they ended up denying him the ability to work. They tried to take away his passport so he couldn't travel outside of the United States and Canada. I mean, it was a travesty. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, the U.S. Supreme Court stood up and said, yes, he deserves not to go to Vietnam. He is a conscientious objector. Straight up, that is Muhammad Ali in a nutshell from 64 to 1970. Now, let's switch gears. Let's bring in Johnny Signorella. Let's go back to last Friday night. Another ESPN. That was ESPN Plus, man. Vasyl Lomachenko. What can I say? When you're in there against a guy that's supposed to be less than you, and there's like a shocked deer in the headlights, you take him out. That's exactly what he did.
It's what he was supposed to do, brother. 100%. Anthony Corolla being very limited and basic. Lomachenko going out, being pound for pound one of the greatest fighters out there on the planet. He did, like Chris Rock said in the stand-up, made famous. He did what you were supposed to do, So let's see him move forward. Vasily Lomachenko. Do we get Mike Garcia next, Pedro? Or do we get Teofimo Lopez, which I think would be one heck of a fight at 135 pounds? Where do you think he's going from here, man?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's Lopez is a fighter that Hector Martinez talks about. Other people mention him to me. Of course, he's the guy that's hot right now. He's super hot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, can he step up and win a world title? Can he dominate at that weight class? Who knows? It remains the jury is out, but he's obviously super talented. I mean, what's on the agenda for next weekend as far as next Saturday and Sunday? Are we going to go with another quiet boxing weekend like we did last week, or what?
Oh, next Saturday we got Crawford versus Khan, bro.
That's what I thought you would. Talk to me. Pay-per-view, ESPN?
Yeah, pay-per-view, ESPN. Looking forward to this one. I tell you what, man, Khan's coming in super confident. And let's just say this. Even though we know Amir Khan's got a bad chin, to say the least, he always comes to fight. And he's always in exciting fights. Of course, until his chin gets checked and then cashed out. And Crawford is an exciting fighter. When he smells blood, what does he do, man? He goes after you. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this fight. And Danny Garcia is coming back against Adrian Granado, also next Saturday. And that's it for the weekend.
What weight is it? What weight is that going to be at Danny? What weight is Danny going to fight at? 40 or 47?
He's sticking around at 147, man. He's going to come out for his 1 or 2 fights a year, taking on B-class opposition like he does. I'm so disappointed, Danny. I liked him at first, man. But then now it's like this 1 or 2 fights a year, and always a tune-up, and a tune-up against the B, and a tune-up against the B-minus. Kind of tired of it, man.
Johnny, he's scary. Fighters. There's some fighters that are scary. He's scary. When I say scary, I don't mean people are scared of him. I think he's scared of boxing. I think he's one of those guys that's scared of boxing. I just feel that way. Anyway, Augie sent us a quick text here. He thought that was really cool that Dustin Poirier honored his wife there after winning the title. He said she went through some stuff with him. Anybody that's been involved in contact sports, if you've had to have somebody there for you, whether it's your wife, your mother, like me, or your trainer, this and that, I mean, you've got to have somebody there for you. And Dustin had his wife, and of course, he captures this interim lightweight championship. But still, his middle name is Lunch Meat when it comes to Khabib, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of guys I think are going to fight Khabib, who, by the way, wrestled the Bears when he was a kid, too, by the way. That's how he started. That's how he came into this thing, as a child wrestling Bears. But, yeah, I'm going to say Lunch Meat. But that's what's up, man. Like, that's why I kept referencing earlier today when we were talking about the fight from last night, that everybody remains safe. There are families there. When you see grueling fights like you saw in the main and the co-main last night in the UFC that are grueling, guys are getting dropped. They're getting choked. They're getting thrown around. To see everyone get safe and have their faculties afterwards and be able to embrace their family and have a good conversation afterwards and give a good interview after a fight like that, that's great sports right there, man. That's what you want to see all the time.
Good point. Terrence Crawford, Amir Khan, WBO welterweight title. Shakir Stevenson versus Christopher Diaz. Teofimo Lopez versus Eddie Totley. Edis Totley. What does Edis Totley bring to the dance?
Not much, man. Teofimo Lopez right now coming into his own, fighting regularly, got his man strength coming together, puts together highlight reel knockouts. I expect the same here. on this show on the 20th when Teofimo Lopez returns.
Okay, time out. Why isn't Shakur Stevenson in jail?
Dude, 100%. Come on, that footage was so bad, and that happened back in July. You know, I don't even want to talk about this kid right now because even, you know, what he did throwing the first punch, but his homie beating on a chick. Come on, dude. Like, what are you doing? You roll with people like that? I can't roll with you.
No doubt about it. Of course, also on the 20th, Danny Garcia, as you said, taking on Adrian Granados. Andy Ruiz Jr. taking on Alexander Dimitrenko. Brandon Figueroa versus Yanquez Pereira for the WBA interim junior featherweight title. It's going to be on Fox Sports, Fox Deportes, and Fox TV. Bottom line is, Johnny Sig, a good weekend of boxing next week. You're always a class act, Johnny Sig. We'll talk next week. Tell them about that YouTube page. Hey,
check us out. Search us Ring Talk Worldwide on YouTube, archive shows, and more. Everyone have a great day. Thank you so much, Pedro.
You are tuned to the mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network, the MMA Hour, live only on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and, of course, the American Forces Network.
We don't back down from nobody. Hold on. We can take it in the street if you want to.
You're listening to the MMA Hour.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit. And 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Check it, the mighty Tower of Power, baby. The new stuff, of course, on the soul side of town. The new LP debuted number 5 on the hip-hop charts. Tower of Power rocking. How could you be like 50 years in the game and debut at number 5 on the hip-hop charts? Only if you're Tower of Power. Check them out, towerpower.com. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide, your inside look in the world of boxing and MMA. A little emotional there with Johnny Tapia, thinking about Johnny's life and, of course, the ups and downs and some of the interactions we had over the years, some good, some bad. Now, Johnny was a hot and cold type of guy. You never really know what Johnny was showing up when you were talking to Johnny or how his personality could change in the midst of a conversation. But the bottom line is he was an iconic figure in the world of boxing, of course, a fantastic fighter out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And that fight with Danny Romero in 1997, and that was a hell of an event. I mean, it sold out to Thomas and Mack Arena on the UNLV campus. It was like 18,000 people. It rocked, it rolled. Albuquerque was in the house, and of course, he fought many times after that. And of course, retiring and not really retiring, like a year before he died in 2012. In 2011, he had a win over Mauricio Pastrana, who was a decent fighter, no doubt about that. So Johnny Tapia, a champ to the end in the minds of some. Johnny was Johnny. I'm not going to say nothing bad about him. The book is called The Ghost of Johnny Tapia. And, of course, we got from Johnny Tapia to hear it from Muhammad Ali there. Some off-the-wall Ali there. He was a little gruff at times. He was a little upset. He had a little chip on his shoulder back in the day, 1964, 65, 66, especially when they started messing with him and trying to take away his livelihood. But, that was Ali. I gave you a lot of spins on Muhammad Ali there. That just happens to be 4 or 5 different spins. You are tuned to the mighty Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Of course, the show 35-plus years now on the radio here on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM, Satellite Radio, of course. Want to thank Dan Patrick and Channel 211 as we rock and roll on that. Don't forget, I host No Holds Barred, 5 p.m. Pacific time each and every Sunday here on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, and Sirius XM, Satellite Radio. And I am the Taco Man, the Johnny Taco Audio Magazine, Saturday nights, 10 p.m. Pacific time, only on Sports Byline. The exclusive producer, the one and the only Scott Cuddy. Till next time, peace and lots of respect. Thanks for listening to Sports Byline.